He wasn't supposed to be mine. Liam, with his tousled brown hair and eyes that held the warmth of 1,000 summer suns, was my brother's best friend. They were inseparable, two halves of the same whole. I was just Lily, the annoying little sister, always on the periphery. I was 10 when I first realized I felt differently about Liam. It was during those scorching summer days, spent splashing in inflatable pools and devouring popsicles, that I became acutely aware of his presence. His laughter, a melody that sent shivers down my spine. His touch, accidental brushes against my arm that left my skin tingling. Every stolen glance, every fleeting moment of shared laughter fueled the flames of my obsession. He was the sun, and I, a mere moth, hopelessly drawn to his light, knowing I would get burned. The years blurred into a haze of stolen moments and hidden desires. My room became a shrine to Liam. Ticket stubs from movies we saw, crumpled napkins he'd absent-mindedly touched, even a discarded guitar pick I'd snatched from his bedroom floor when no one was looking. Each item held a memory, a reminder of my silent, unrequited love. My brother, oblivious to my inner turmoil, would recount stories of their adventures, his words like daggers to my heart. Every girlfriend Liam had, every casual fling felt like a personal attack. My obsession grew, twisting into something darker, something I couldn't control. Still, I clung to the hope that someday, somehow, he would see me. Not as his best friend's little sister, but as Lily, a girl worthy of his attention, a girl desperately in love with him. When I turned 18, I made the impulsive decision to move to California. Leaving my family and friends behind was heartbreaking, but it paled in comparison to the thought of spending another day suffocating in the stifling reality of unrequited love. For 3 years I built a life for myself, pushing Liam to the recesses of my mind. I focused on my studies, made new friends, and even dated. But the memory of him lingered like a ghost, haunting my waking hours and invading my dreams. Then out of the blue came the call that shattered the fragile peace I had painstakingly built. My brother was getting married, and Liam was going to be his best man. The moment I saw Liam again, it was like no time had passed at all. He was even more handsome than I remembered, his boyish charm replaced by a rugged masculinity that made my breath catch in my throat. His eyes, still holding that familiar warmth, met mine across the crowded room, and for a heartbeat, I felt seen. The wedding week was a whirlwind of emotions. Liam and I fell into an easy camaraderie, sharing inside jokes and reminiscing about our childhood. He was attentive, making me laugh until my sides ached, his touch lingering just a second too long. Hope, dormant for so long, began to blossom in my chest. Could it be that he finally saw me? That maybe, just maybe, the feelings I harbored weren't so unrequited after all? It was during the rehearsal dinner, amidst the clinking champagne glasses and congratulatory speeches, that my world shifted on its axis. I was alone on the balcony, seeking refuge from the suffocating air inside, when I overheard a conversation that chilled me to the bone. "She's completely smitten with you, you know," a female voice giggled. "It's almost pathetic." "I know," Liam's deep voice rumbled in response. "Poor, naive Lily. She's like putty in my hands." My stomach lurched. I stumbled back, my hand flying to my mouth to stifle a sob. He knew. He had known all along about my feelings and had been toying with me, manipulating me for his own amusement. The world spun, the sounds of celebration morphing into a cacophony of noise. The man I had worshipped, the one I had built my entire world around, was nothing more than a cruel illusion. He had played me, using my own feelings against me, and the realization was like a punch to the gut. I spent the rest of the evening in a daze, avoiding Liam's gaze, his every touch now sending waves of nausea through me. The laughter died on my lips, replaced by a bitter cocktail of anger, betrayal, and a strange sense of self-loathing. How could I have been so blind, so foolish? I had poured my heart and soul into loving him, only to discover that I had been nothing more than a pawn in his twisted game. The day after the wedding, I was packing my bags, desperate to escape the suffocating atmosphere of betrayal that hung heavy in the air when Liam appeared at my door. He looked disheveled, his hair a mess, his eyes filled with a mixture of remorse and something else, something that looked suspiciously like panic. Leaving so soon, Lily? His voice was low, laced with an undercurrent of something I couldn't quite place. What do you care? I spat, my voice dripping with venom. You know I care, he said, taking a step closer. He reached out, his fingers brushing against my cheek. I flinched, but he didn't move away. I know what you overheard, he said, his voice barely a whisper. And I'm sorry. Truly. His apology, though unexpected, did little to soothe the raw anger that burned inside me. He had enjoyed toying with me, reveling in the power he held over my emotions. And yet, a part of me, a dark and twisted part I hadn't known existed, was strangely turned on by the revelation. Why? I whispered, my voice trembling with a potent cocktail of rage and a strange, unwelcome excitement. He leaned in close, his breath warm against my ear. Because, Lily, he murmured, a sly smile playing on his lips. The chase is always more thrilling than the catch. His words hit me like a physical blow. He had never wanted me, not really. I was a game to him, a challenge to conquer and then discard. And yet knowing this, knowing his true nature, did nothing to extinguish the flames of desire that still flickered within me. Stay, he whispered, his hand moving to cup my cheek, his thumb gently stroking my bottom lip. Stay and play with me, Lily. The words hung in the air between us, a dangerous invitation to a game I knew I shouldn't play. He was toxic, a poison I knew I should avoid. But the allure of the forbidden, the thrill of dancing with the devil was too strong to resist. With a shaky breath, I made my choice. I pushed aside the voice of reason, silencing the warnings screaming in my head. I knew I was in over my head, drowning in the depths of an obsession that threatened to consume me. But as I looked into Liam's eyes, saw the flicker of triumph reflected in their depths, I couldn't bring myself to care. I was his for better or worse, in sickness and in health, until death do us part. And in that moment I knew with a certainty that chilled me to the bone that our story was far from over.